you would have an engineer that was making more than any executive, single individual contributor, but they were so valuable. They were making more than the CIO was.
Well, I mean, our product is care. So,
Yeah,
we want the best providers and nurses in the world. And the benefit of being in a highly competitive market for that type of talent is we have to be laser focused on it. We don't have the luxury of slacking. We have to have an excellent total rewards package. We have to be really in tuned with the work that people are doing. We have to be in tune with what patients and patient families need in terms of the specialties that we're recruiting and the areas of care that we're growing as an enterprise. And so maybe it's consequential and maybe it's a compliment to the organization. Maybe it's both. But we view it as a big problem if somebody leaves. We really want to know why. Why did you leave us? And when people want to join us and they make a big commitment, you spend oftentimes more time at work than you do at home.
Yeah.
So we try to value that. And so we're just constantly engaged in that conversation. Part of it, I think, is because we're just a really well-led organization. And then also part of it, I think, is the nature of healthcare. And if you have any hopes to be successful as a hospital or healthcare enterprise, you had better be tuned into that. Because how many examples, and Jeremy, you did a fabulous one talking about, well, it's RIF season. If you look at those examples and those case studies out there, we don't have to learn that lesson over and over again. We can do it right the first time, and we don't have to get into that old school, mentality.
I think Ryan hit on something key there that I'd like to highlight is, as we're recruiting, particularly providers in specialties, right? We're in the middle of the United States, Omaha, Nebraska. A lot of people have never been here, don't understand what a lovely city we have. And we want to convey that excellence and a culture that people want to be attracted to, right? So when I talk to providers, and we recruit some really talented people, and to a person, when I ask them what drew you to Children's Nebraska, it's the culture. It's the feeling that I can tell you that I had 6 years ago when I interviewed here. It's something really special about the environment. And we have to create that, right? We have to create that culture, and we have to create that excellence. We have to feel or make people feel like they belong and have them really belong in our environment, because we're competing with the East and West Coast, quite honestly, with that talent. So we want to make this something very special that people seek out as well for their career advancement.
I wish it was the steak and the corn and the great sports and athletics programs we've got. I mean, I think that's a big draw. If you come to our region, you're going to have the meal of your life. But some of those younger generations that we were talking about earlier, they're drawn to the beach, and they're drawn to cities like Austin and LA and Seattle that have kind of that hip vibe. And what is cool about Omaha in particular is we have an excellent chamber. We have a lot of business leaders and community leaders that are working really hard to offer those types of benefits across the city too. So it might surprise you to hear that the hospital is involved in those conversations. And so we're on boards, we're talking about parks and, how we zone things and how we function as a city, because it's part and parcel with being a great city is having a healthy hospital and a great staff bench.